Hello. I hope this works. This is my first time doing a live stream. And if you are tuning in uh, via links I've sent you, or you just see me pop up on your screen when you're scrolling for no reason, I don't really know how this works for those people, but I have sent out some links. If you're on my mailing list or you're a part of my qigong class, that's the best way to make sure you receive these live stream links. So this is beginner's qigong, and qigong, in case you're not familiar with it, is the practice of moving your energy and managing your energy in ways that help you become, more supple in your muscles, less stressed, more relaxed. There's some breath work involved. Uh, there's multiple wellness benefits for qigong, for doing qigong. But I think the key thing to note is that if you are doing this for the first time, and I don't think anybody that I've invited is, because I think you're all my students, but if you're doing this for the first time, just the thing to remember is it's supposed to be relaxing. So the benefit is really from leaning into softness, leaning into the exhale, leaning into kind of the more meditative aspect. It's not like a workout. So that said, let me just make sure everything is looking right. So it looks like I'm recording. Hopefully you're hearing me. I tested the mic beforehand. So let us begin this beginner qigong practice today. So the first thing you want to do is place your feet hip distance apart, bounce with your knees a little bit, just to keep everything nice and loose. Tilt your pelvis a little bit forward so that your lower back is relaxed. Open up your arms like you have grapefruits underneath. Relax your shoulders, nice and relaxed. Tilt your chin under slightly so that the back of your neck lengthens, and then you will feel kind of a pull up from your crown, and you can imagine something pulling you up, maybe a string, and just feel into this posture. Just take a moment to invite your awareness inward into how you feel on the inside, into sensation, and adjust anywhere you need. Keep it loose. So my knees are gonna be a little more bouncy there. Relax, holding the intention, setting myself the intention to relax my shoulders a little more deeply. This is called the Wuji stance. It's a stance we return to frequently in qigong. And once you feel nice and centered and aligned, let's take some nice inhales. And then exhale. And inhale. And exhale. Bending down the knees as you exhale, inhale up. Last time. And exhale. Next, we're going to inhale again. Press the hands like you're lifting the sky, and then you're going to exhale down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Isn't that nice tropical breeze today? Pushing up with your hands and exhaling softly down, making sure you drop those shoulders. Last one. Lovely. So next you're going to inhale and open to the side. And then again, press out with your hands. And then exhale. And down. Inhale. And you're just lengthening your arms, feeling like that lengthening really in your hands so that you can feel it all the way to the tops of your fingertips. And then exhale. Just timing this with the breath. Opening on your inhale and exhaling as you close and return. Now, if your arms start to get tired as you do this, I invite you to relax a little more. You're probably expending too much effort if you start to get tired at this point. But what you do want to feel is, that the muscles are working right here on the inhale. And then as you exhale, see how deeply you can relax. Exhale, dropping those shoulders a little more. Let's do 3 more. Last one. And dropping those shoulders. Good. Let's go into the Wuji stance and feel for a moment. So that's just inviting your awareness inward, remembering those same points we checked in with earlier. And noticing, like, is anything shifted? Do your shoulders feel tired? Does your chest feel more open? Do you feel any energy going up and down your arms? That would be something you can check in with. It's kind of like we check in with our alignment, check in with the results of what we've been doing when we do the Wuji posture. So let's do some arm swings, which is just how it sounds. Again, mindful of those shoulders dropping down, staying nice and heavy, letting gravity pull your hands and your arms down into the ground. So if you keep your pelvis, your sacrum facing forward like I'm doing, you're going to feel a twist in your center, your thoracic, which kind of maximizes the benefits of this particular form. Because you're adding this kind of massage along these lines of your body, and then also the sidelines of your body, which have to do with the gallbladder. And then also you're giving your digestive and reproductive organs a nice massage with this twist. And of course, you're also loosening and relaxing the shoulders and the arms and the hands. And slowing down. So we're going to do some shoulder exercises. Shoulders get really taxed from our modern lifestyle, from computers and cell phones. So this could feel really good if you're a person that keeps tension in those shoulders. So first, let's bring one up to the ear and then just drop. Inhale and exhale down. Just feeling what's going on here. Other side. Just kind of a dramatic drop here, just to make sure you fully relax. Inhale, relax. Good, and then the other side, we're going to go back, and then center, and forward, and center. Relax. Keeping it soft. Seeing how minimal amount of effort you can extend in this. Because as you do that, your movements will become smoother. Other side. More efficient. You'll feel better. Last one. Next, you're going to do this full circles back. Again, with the same idea of trying to drop completely at this point, right? smoothing it out. Any crunches, any pots should be getting smoother. The more you deepen and relax. Good. So next we're going to do the other direction. We're going to circle forward as we drop onto kind of the center line of that same foot, and then the other side. So inhale, circle, drop. Let me show you from the side. This is called the bear. So you can imagine being a clumsy bear or a cute bear walking in the forest. You know how bears are with their big paws. And of course, this bear is upright. Maybe it's a cartoon bear. So you're just bringing that full roll down. So right at that point where I'm dropping the shoulder, I'm connecting with the down of the foot. And I'm lifting the heel up, down. So let's just walk in the forest. Breathing. Enjoying the day. Looking for honey. Inviting your shoulders to fully relax. Slowing your roll. Say that. Literally slowing our roll. And pausing. Going back into that Wuji stance. And feeling inward for a moment. What happened here? What's going on in your body now? I feel a circulation of energy. The chi feels like it's moving around from top to bottom. I feel my feet really connected to the earth and the earth energy coming up. And whatever you feel is fine. Like you may not feel anything at all. Qigong is like that. It's like a progression of like where you're getting more sensitive and aware over time. The longer you do it, the more you're going to notice, the more benefit you're going to have. So I've had some practice. So I'm having all of these sensations right now, but just keep at it if you don't feel anything or whatever you feel. It's just nice to be here, right? So next we're going to scoop up the chi and we're going to touch the earth as we press the sky, just like this. And then you exhale. And then you inhale again. And exhale. Nice and relaxed and soft. Inhale. Scooping up the chi. Stretch, but not all the way up, right? Like my elbow's still bent on both sides. So let me show you this from the side. So exhale and inhale. And exhale. Inhale. So you'll see my elbow right here is just like, it's almost like it's pushing something behind me slightly, but it's bent. Exhale. And keeping it nice and long. Inhale. And exhale. Softening on your way down. Opening up on your way up. And softening and returning. Your exhale. Let's do two more. Last one. And return. Nice and slow, because you feel more when you go more slowly. Go figure. So next we're going to do figure 8. So this is just, we're moving the hips. And if we just worked with the top half of our body. Oh, I'm sorry, there was something on the roof. Like a little bird. Drama. Bird drama. So you're making one circle with one hip, and then a circle with the other hip. You're going nice and slow. And both of those circles are meeting in the middle, right? As we pass through the center. And then you're allowing the upper half of your body to just travel, very neutral. There's not going to be much effort expended there. Where it's coming from is the ground. The chi coming down, or coming up through down, right? Up through your feet. And feeling that in your knees, your thighs, your hips. It's this little thing flashing on my screen, and I absolutely have this worry that this isn't recording at all because Mercury is about to go retrograde tomorrow. So you see me looking at my screen a little suspiciously, that's why. Just gonna hope for the best. So the breath is just natural here. Just letting it do what it wants. We're just mostly just trying to find a nice soothing rhythm. This is really lovely for the parasympathetic nervous system. So I don't know if you have pain issues like me, This is one that I consistently use to calm myself, especially if the pain is in the body with my back and neck. There's something about this one, just allowing the back and the neck to just float as the support of your lower half carries you. It just like feels like rocking in the ocean or something. Really soothing for the nervous system. Now we're gonna add our arms a little bit, do a little bit of, what we're doing is we're adding the lungs. So this is just that nice opening out and circling back in perfect tune with what you're already doing. Again, keeping your breath nice and natural, nothing forced or efforted is the key. Effortless movement. Let's do this, our last one. And then going back to like a metronome. Shoulder blades nice and relaxed. Just keeping everything loose, but present, right? There's definitely a circle happening on either side. Your legs are fully engaged, so keep your awareness on this lower half of your body. And we're going to open the other side. It may feel more natural to inhale as you open. Let's make this next one our last one. Going back to just that nice little metronome of the figure 8, which we will return to shortly. Let's slow this down. And let's pause and do our Wuju stance. Check in. How are you feeling? All sensation is welcome. It's just a gift to actually have the space and time to notice sensation, to really fully inhabit your body, not be in your head. All right, next you're going to step inward a little bit. And then you're going to make a nice circle at top, reach to one side so you get that nice stretch, and then exhale to the other side. Inhale and exhale. Dropping your shoulders. And making sure your shoulders also just stay nice and nested in the sockets. You're not ever overextending, right? That's like keeping the elbows bent a little bit helps to remember that everything stays nice and loose. So for instance, if I was doing this, like my shoulders go up to my ears, there's too much effort happening there. So we're not doing that. Feeling the nice stretch all along like the opposing side, right? Gallbladder, meridians, kidneys. Let's do 2 more. Let's make this our last one. And coming back to center, dropping those shoulders entirely. Just checking in. Let's make our feet slightly wider just to get this night. Actually, let's take that back. We're going to keep them a little more narrow. And for this, you're going to go to one side and then to the center and then to the other side, down and to center. So you're going to go inhale, up, and exhale, down. Inhale, pass through the center, exhale. Keeping nice and long. We're doing the inhale on the same side, right? And the exhale on the same side. Now on this exhale, you're going to stay on this side and do an inhale. So we're switching sides. Passing through the center. And this is the last one. Returning. Nice. So as we bring in the lungs, the breath, the shoulders, the arms, we are bringing in energy. We're bringing in nice fresh chi. So, and because of the slow pace that we're going at, that combination is good for recuperating energy. So if you've been having a depleted time with your energy, like doing this kind of practice with your lungs, your arms, slowly, it's going to be feeling really good to you. So next, let's turn a little bit so you see the full range maybe of what I'm doing. So on your inhale, you're going to reach back and then exhale right through the center and then reach back. Like you're smoothing water maybe with your hands. This is just calming, right? Exhaling to the front. Inhale always when you turn. Exhale, release. Let's make this our last one. And returning to center. Let's check in. The Wuji stance, how are you feeling? Let's swing the arms just in case that feels good. Let everything be nice and loose. Sometimes when we're trying to do a thing, we just habitually tense up. And if this is new, or if it's like a form you're not remembering or recalling, you may have unconsciously do that. So this arm swinging helps with that. Just remembering to release all muscle tension. Just let it travel all the way into the earth through any part of your body. It may still feel congested or cranky. Slowing down. Let's go back into the figure 8. Remember, this is just making a circle with each hip outward. Just allowing the top of your body to travel like it's a platter. Tray. Just following as the lower body and the stability of the lower body takes the lead. And slowing it down. And returning to center. Bringing your stance in a little bit. So now we're going to do the figure 8 as promised with our arms. So it's just like this. So inhale and exhale. Inhale, open, and exhale down. And get that sense of drawing a figure 8 or the infinity symbol. As I told everybody in our last class, and I asked the question, what does the figure 8 mean? and qigong. Like, what is this about? Because it is a consistent, I guess, aspect of a lot of the forms. Is this shape, making this shape. And Noelle, if you're watching, you correctly guessed. Noelle said it's the infinity symbol. And so it is the infinity symbol. And of course, because there is such a emphasis on youth and staying, well in Asian culture, but also in life. Of course, we want infinite energy, infinite youth, infinite health. And it turns out that's what the esoteric practice of doing this figure 8 means. So as you're doing this, let's switch sides actually, I don't want you to get so tired. As you're doing this, again, remembering everything, keeping that shoulder blade nice and loose while not overextending. Whoop. And we're doing so let me show you where we're kind of from the back here, right? And then up. So it's going to be like a little bit of a sideways, right? I start talking and I forget what I'm doing. So slow it down. And then return. So that was like essentially the same thing we did with our hips, right? With the figure 8, except we just did it with our arms in a different plane. And now let's do the hip circles for a moment to just invite the hips and the lower back into the process. So you can place your hands on your lower back, offer that nice support. So just dropping your awareness into your hips and touching all 4 points, back, side, front, side, with your mind's eye will help you to do that with your hips. And then reversing directions. Just generating some nice warmth and energy here as we open up the hip sockets, open up really the upper half of the body to the lower half of the body. It's a great energy junction. Also massaging internal organs for all the organs that really don't get a chance to move around without the muscles moving around. You know, all of the reproductive and digestive organs, the muscles are in charge of helping them out, right? Moving things along, detoxifying, renourishing. center. Good. Right, and now we're going to start a little piece called the teacups, which you may have. If you were in my Monday class last week, I introduced. Well, we've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, getting better at it, hopefully. So I'm going to break it down for you. So imagine that you have a teacup, a saucer with a teacup in either hand. And you're going to do the infinity symbol, essentially. You're going to bring this hand back to do a little circle. And then you're going to bring that up in front of your face, over your head, do a larger circle to return. So back. Right? Now be sure to give yourself plenty of grace with this one, but also because I'm asking you to kind of keep your hand flat, right? And imagine there's a teacup there. So as you do that backward circle, it helps to just remember to be in front of your face as you do this part before you do the circle over your head and back. I watched my husband trying to do this one, and he wasn't getting it, and that was the issue. He was like, like this. And but then we figured it out and he got it. So it's just like nice smooth motion, right? Now let's do the other side. Right in front, over the head, and a return. You don't have to hold your other teacup. You can put one down. Okay, so if you've got that, and we just did the hip circles, which was this, right? So let's get back into that mode of circling, and we're not going to put our hands in our back this time. We're going to just have our hands hanging down. So you may have noticed my hips wanted to be a part of the teacups, and that's because that's how it works. So let's try it. Let's put it together, right? So we're going to go, and I'm switching directions on you. I'm aware of that. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And one more. I'm going to do it to the side so you can see the other side, right? So we're going to go back like this. Right. So if it feels awkward, that's okay. We're just laying. You'll get it. Okay. So if we've been successful, we will have not spilled the tea, so to speak. So this is something you can practice on your own. So you can do this without the hips. And you can just remember the figure 8 or the infinity symbol. All right. And you can also practice the hip circles, either with your hands on your hips or your arms out. And those pieces, those components, or you can even, and you can do this, right? Which is what we were doing. Or, and you can do this one. So all of these are involved in the teacups, which is what makes it so fun. So maybe next time I will actually have a real cup. So tune in, find out. Okay, we're getting ready to close our practice. So I'd love for you to just go back into that Wuji stance, which is that kind of feet apart, knees slightly bent. Arms out to the side, shoulders relaxed, back of neck nice and not long. Connected to the sky, connected to the earth. Turning your attention inward, how do you feel? Noticing if anything feels more alive inside, or present, or spacious, or calm, or whatever. How do you feel? How is it different from when you first arrived here today? Let's take a nice inhale. And exhale down the front. And inhale. Inhale. So to close this, we're going to bring our feet together, touch our fingertips, and we're going to breathe in, and then touch our fingertips again as you go up on our toes. And then exhale. And inhale. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Oop. Returning to center, taking our chi and inhaling and exhaling down into our pelvic bowl, into the earth. Inhale again. Last one. Settling right into the dantian, the pelvic bowl. the root. And just settling your awareness right here for a few moments. Inviting your breath to deepen. Inviting diaphragmatic breathing. Just nice relaxation. Allow all your good work today to replenish and nourish and restore your energy body, your organs, your emotional body, spiritual body, mental body, all of it. Just feeling the sense of connection, of flow, of chi circulating. Returning to peace, returning to stillness and relaxation and the joy that you naturally are. When we feel good, it's easy to remember that, isn't it? So let's close our practice. I'm going to say mahalo. Thank you for joining me on this live stream experiment. And if this is successful, let's continue it. Let me know how it goes in the comments of whatever, wherever you're watching. And I'd love to hear from you. And mahalo.